have the red and the yellow.
Okay. So we need a bite tube set. We need a. Do you have the horn kit?
No.
Okay, and you need the straw kit.
But we do have one of these.
We have just one horn.
Good. Now you have another. Okay, so that's good. And you're going to do the horn with the singing. Let's just make sure I have that. And then NB or P. And let's see if we can get her to the other one. I still try to get her to blow because that's the other part. So what we're doing now is getting her lips to understand your lips have something to do with mommy talking or daddy singing, whichever one. And then we're going to get that airflow to come in and really make a difference with that. With the slow feed, and I'm going to change my mind about that, with the veggie stick, which he still likes, just do that on the right side only. So it'll be as many as you can get with that.
Okay.
I did it with the Cheerio. I liked what she did on the left side. She wasn't so good on the right side.
Okay.
So the Cheerio was actually too hard for her to fully chew for this exercise.
Okay.
That's why we want to use that crunchy veggie
Okay.
stick, which I think will be a whole lot better. Okay, so we're not going to use that. All right, that's step one. Okay. Then, actually, that's step two. So step one is veggie, right only. Okay. Then I want you to go back to Lori's feeding hierarchy. I don't know, did she talk to you about this one, where you bite and bite? Okay, that's what you do with the veggie stick.
Okay.
She can't do it yet with the food.
Okay.
It's too hard for her. So after you do the veggie stick on the right, and let's see how many I want you to do, just one stick. Then you go to number 2, which will be with the stick on those teeth, bite, bite, and that's going to pull her tongue back.
Do you do front back or back front? I can't remember.
Front back.
Front back.
Because your goal, think about what you want your tongue to do. You want your tongue to pull the food back.
Okay.
So you're going to go bite and then bite.
Okay.
She didn't have the skill to do this last time. She just didn't have the strength in her jaw. We had to build it up a little bit. So bite, bite. And I'll give you a picture. The picture will show you exactly which tooth. But basically it's, I don't have anything. Do you mind if I do this with you? And you'll feel your tongue. So it's like this, bite, open, bite. You feel how your tongue went back? Okay. Now sometimes the tongue will follow it. Sometimes the tongue will move away from it. You want something to drink? Okay.
Are you all finished, or you want more?
If it does, if her
More,
tongue
or all
does
finished?
nothing, then it's not as effective as we would hope it would be. But continue.
Okay.
I hope her tongue follows it, not all of the time. You know, even in the adult population of people that I teach, when we talk about brushing your teeth, sometimes people will say, oh yeah, my tongue goes over there, like I go to the dentist and they are always telling me to move it. Other people go, no, that doesn't happen. And their tongue actually moves away. So we'll see what happens with her.
Okay.
Right, so I kind of jumped ahead. I want to go back to the sensory program. I'm going to change it a little bit. I still like the tooth that. I agree with you. I think that one is really beneficial.
Okay.
At the end of that one, I want to go onto the lips. Remember where I held it and I went ooh? So that's going to be that ooh sound.
Okay.
When you do the tongue part, in the past we've been pulling forward. Now we want to push back also.
Okay.
Because Lori has added that. That's exactly what she needs. She needs that backward movement, which is pretty much what you're getting here with the feeding as well. The other thing that I'm going to add are some of Lori's cheek exercises, which are really terrific. What do I do with that?
This one?
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give you this tip.
Okay.
And I'd like you to, if you don't mind, feel, I won't use the vibration if you don't want me to.
You can.
Okay, you don't mind? It's pretty
That's
intense.
fine.
Okay. All right.
If she
So,
can do it, I can do it.
now remember, she has hyposensitivity. You do not. So if you feel like you're going to gag, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay? So you start here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then you want her to say, good. Do you feel how I did that? Now do it again. Do you feel how I added resistance that time? Good. And then that's the second one, is with the resistance. And then the third one, which he's not ready for, is going to be like this. Hold it tight and pop your lips open. Right. That's gonna be the third.
Okay.
So there are 3 in a sequence with this tip.
Now, we've been doing, when we do our toothette, we do that cheek stretch with the toothette. Should we stop doing
You're
that?
gonna continue, you
Continue that
still
part,
do
okay.
that, cause that, I think, it's Charlie, right?
Yes.
Okay. Charlie was writing that wakes her up.
Okay.
Yeah, that is more of a, okay, we're ready to work.
Okay.
This is an exercise.
Okay.
That is more passive. This is more
Gotcha.
functional. And that will help with her straw drinking too, because it's not only her lower lip which isn't working, it's her cheeks in here. And I really haven't seen a change in the puffiness of her cheeks. That's because she's still suckling. Those
Yeah.
suckle pads are still there. I would expect that the next time, whether Lori or I see her, we should see more of a definition in her cheeks. Okay? All right, let me see if I have
More?
anything.
Okay.
All right, and with all of that said, remember that she is almost 2, and that is the killer age. And if she fights any of this, I don't want you to persevere. I
Okay.
want you to just pull back, because we don't want her to be afraid or feel overwhelmed. I mean, you know how to cajole her into doing things. If you can cajole her, fine, but if she is really unhappy, you need not to do that.
Okay.
And then at the end, I would like for you to say to her, when you're all done with this, and you can make pictures of everything you're gonna do in a line. We actually have a program that you don't need, but you would have just photographs, and you would show her, this is what we're gonna do now. And then on that line, at the very end, or maybe the Cheerios that she
Okay.
can self-feed. Or maybe you do 2 things and she can self-feed.
Okay.
You wanna try to avoid her getting angry, be cooperative, because this stuff is really gonna help her, and she really likes it,
Yeah.
but she's also saying, wait a second, how much is this taking away my independence? Because look at her now, she's as happy as can be. She's a kid. And again, in the worst case scenario, you stop everything for 4, 5, 6 months if it gets really bad, and you don't worry about it because we'll pick it up then.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So my biggest concerns at this point, just so you can focus on what is really important, is that straw
Yeah.
and getting her jaw going.
Okay.
So the jaw exercises. I want her to blow for speech. I really want her to get used to all that other stuff. But right now, the physical part is the concern.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
And so you've seen improvement on this side, just not much on this side.
Yes.
Because
And
it
well,
seems like when she gets it back there, she's pretty good at chewing, and then she goes to the suckle and she just, you know.
what I've seen improvement is her ability to retract her tongue for volition. That means on purpose. So in her speech, that is a huge thing to do. You
Okay.
don't underestimate that. That's the best thing she did today.
Okay.
And a lot of kids at this stage are going, that, those, and she's not doing that. She's actually getting G sounds too. She's
Yeah.
got a G in there too, which is a really nice sound. So she's got a G, she's got a she has a B. I didn't hear a P, I heard a D. I haven't heard a T. Have you heard anything else besides that? Okay. And then what are called open mouth vowels. She's got those.
But she, last time we saw you, was making almost no sounds.
Right.
And we've seen a huge improvement just in the past, for some reason, like 2
Couple
months.
months.
It started
Yeah.
to be more and more
Okay.
of on her own. Because we can get her to imitate, but now we're hearing her start to just do it in playtime and stuff, which is
Perfect.
really encouraging.
That is really, okay. That's, again, that the speech, because I'm focusing on that, to me, she's a star. Okay? But I can't let go of
Right.
that other part, because as new sounds come in, I don't want her using her tongue.
Okay.
And that whole thing with the straw drinking is a little unnerving, only because if she figures out she can do it with speech, we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, that will give us a big setback. Sometimes it happens, but we fix it again,
Yeah.
so not an issue, because we know she can do it.
Yeah.
All right, the other changes, as you said, the left side of her jaw has gotten much stronger. That motor plan for up and down moving, which she never did before, is much better. So she is able to compress on both sides, which she wasn't able to do. The strength issue is the primary concern now.
Okay.
So it's not that she doesn't know how, it's that she needs to get a bit stronger, okay, with that. And she's not walking yet.
No.
Okay, so you may see that when she starts to walk, she'll start to focus more on this.
Okay.
That will be over. So a lot of times we get the gross motor skill before we get the fine motor skill.
Okay.
So again, that might be the next thing. Now look what she just did with her lips. Look at that movement. You see that? Did you see? She gets that nice lip rounding.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's there.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. We just wanted to tell her, don't use your tongue for that.
Okay.
What other changes have I seen? So I've seen strength on the left side of the jaw. I've seen more tongue retraction for speech. I've seen, much better lip closure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before she was open mouth a lot more. And that emerging lip rounding, which is the second level of, which is good.
I did want to ask you, when we use this and we do the ooh, she sometimes will try to do that. Do you just pull it out at
Yes.
that point? Okay.
What is she trying to do? Put that on my tongue?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she likes. Because
Okay.
she's getting a lot of feedback on her tongue. Okay. Now the other thing that I did today was I used this bubble. I'm going to include it, but I want it to be included right before you do the horn. So basically, what you do is it's called a bubble pop, and what it does is it gives her a sensation on her lips. It says, "Oh, those are my lips." It feels. So these are non-toxic bubbles. Just so you know, I create them with a chemist who thinks I'm insane. But open your mouth. Okay. That has a lot more sensory feedback than popping on your hand.
Okay.
So that's why by the end of that, she was pretty much okay with
Mhm.
keeping her hands down. That's a good thing to teach her to do,
Okay.
because oral motor things, we hold. So you do that, and let's do that popping on her lips. 5 times is enough, and then you go into the horn with the singing.
The song. Okay.
So what you're working on with that song is exactly what Charlie said. You're connecting speech with muscle movement and also the feel of lip closure. That's what I tried to do with that shape. She said no thanks,
Okay.
but she did it with the horn,
Okay.
which was good. And remember the 3 sounds you're going to use are M, B, and P. So you might want to look at the songs that you sing to her
Mm-hmm.
and really, as they're right there, put a yellow highlighter so you don't have to think about it. I mean, I do it naturally because it's what I do. And just on each one of them. And then, but don't do it on the Baby Bumblebee song,
Okay.
because she loves that
Yeah.
song. You don't want to take that away. She's too cute, you know? Yeah. Or, do you let her have a cookie every day? Okay. Well, you might, if you don't mind. Yeah, that might be on a day that she's having trouble, say, if you do this, you do this. And it's not fair that she has to do all this. It isn't. But, so I'm very much in favor of that reward where you say, if you do this, I know it's hard, you'll get something special.
Okay.
All right, so,
I-
any questions?
In the cup, doesn't matter to you what it is, milk,
I don't
juice,
care.
whatever. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
And no whipping
Actually,
anymore.
no, I don't think you need it. Now,
Okay.
you'll tell me if you feel
Okay.
that you do, but I thought she did beautifully
With
with the
this,
thin.
she does better than.
I think
Yeah.
so. All right, so let me ask you a question. Does she like the milk or the juice better? Does she have a really strong preference?
Sometimes she will
We-
really like juice, but I haven't seen her love it all the time, right?
We rarely give her juice, so
Yeah.
when we do give her juice, it's almost like I think she is just so used to or so surprised by something different that when I've given her juice, she's sucked it down. Like
Mhm.
she has never had it before. It's
Okay,
the best
well,
thing ever.
All right, if
And we
that's
dilute it
true.
with water. We don't just give her straight juice.
Okay, well, if that is true in the future, let's say she starts giving you a hard time with the straw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then this straw always gets juice.
Okay.
And then she says, oh, okay, I
That
will
tastes good.
tolerate that. There's your motivation.
Okay.
And then the other, okay, if you don't want that, well, then you're going to have this. Now, the only problem with going from juice to milk is that it can curdle in your stomach.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you might, does she drink water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you might want to go juice to water, but milk to milk.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. Just maybe something like that, because you really want her on this. Now, remember, both of these straws that you're going to use, the rubber band is under here,
Okay.
because she's smart. What she will do is
Yeah.
this. Okay?
And that just needs to be how far down, like where you have it now?
Yeah, right where I have it now.
Okay.
So let's measure that when you get home.
Probably about a quarter inch.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit more than a quarter of an inch. I think an inch might be right about here. So it's maybe 3/8 of an inch.
More?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is. let's do that. Let me get a hold of Phil, I think he's gonna be here soon.